What's up, guys? We're back again with some more reactions to political news. Welcome back to Counting Gains News Media Network, coming to you guys live across Ireland and showing you guys all the best news topics across the country. Okay, so this one is called Ben Scallan Debates the Hate Speech Bill on Virgin Media. Obviously, there was probably like an hour-long session on the Tonight Show on Virgin Media, which is like a political show that showcases like different topics of the day and of the week. And I'm pretty sure the hate speech bill is now coming back in. People in the government promised that it would be kind of taken out, but obviously now, you know, they've done a U-turn, of course, and it's full steam ahead. So drop a comment down below and let me know how you're all feeling about that. And let's get straight to it, guys.
The government has only been in the job for about 3 days. One of the things that he said he wanted to do was to try and make sure that that contentious legislation that I know you have spoken out in the past, the incitement on prohibition to hatred, possibly going back before the Scallan again. He says he wants that delivered. It's a programme for government commitment. All the indications are from the Fine Gael side that they'd rather fudge it. Maybe we might get to see some measure of how the coalition is going to go under Simon Harris in those last few months, where they're deciding which bits they want to clean up before the general election and which bits they want to leave behind.
Yeah, I think it would be a critical error for the government from their own perspective if they were to proceed with it, because we know how woefully unpopular that legislation is. I mean, even Regina Doherty, when she was in the Shannon, was saying that in her political career she'd never received more correspondence about a piece of legislation than this. So clearly
true. And I've never seen so many people post about it on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, all the major platforms. This hate speech bill is literally unanimously hated by people. You know, and it's not even a left or right wing issue. Like, everyone just hates it, guys. It's more of a them wanting to put less freedoms on the people, right? That's what it feels like anyways.
Really, the public are very incensed, and I think one of the reasons for that is it's almost like a symbol of the direction that the government is going, that people feel it shouldn't be, where we've got a law and order crisis in this country. Crime is out of control. We see cases like the Natasha O'Brien case, where people are getting extremely lenient sentences almost on like a weekly basis, and people feel like the government is messing around with Mickey Mouse issues, trying to police.
True, you know, crime is out of control in the sense that like people aren't getting sentencing, and you know, people have like 70 or 80 convictions without actually going to prison. All right, not just going to jail and getting your fingerprints taken, guys, and this whole in and out in 20 minutes time. Okay, we're talking about actual prison, guys. Like you know what I mean? You have to go to prison if you commit crime, guys, for 5 years and 10 years, and you have to make people's lives kind of miserable if they commit crimes, guys, right? Serious crimes, okay? Not ones that are petty, like if you're beating people up and this type of stuff, guys, you absolutely should go to jail, guys. Absolutely. No question about it. Okay, but that doesn't happen in Ireland, so you now have to protect yourself, you know. So record stuff, guys. If someone threatens you, record them. Do that type of stuff, guys. It normally throws them off for the most part. You know, people don't want to have a camera stuck in their face when they're being aggressive and belligerent, because then you can just record it back to the police, and that fool goes to jail, guys, for threatening behavior. So there you go.
The bread and butter stuff of making sure people are safe on streets.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to deal with crime, I would rather you deal with people actually getting like punched in the face and mugged and robbed, as opposed to like tweets that may or may not be offensive in some people's subjective opinion.
Yeah, it's bro, brilliantly said, Mr. Scallan. Mr. Scallan, as I used to say for a long time. I don't know why I said his name that so bad, but Ben Scallop. You know, it's true, guys. You know, people shouldn't be, focusing on stuff like, oh, this guy said some hurty words and this type of stuff, and, maybe he, pronounced my my damn pronouns wrong or something outrageous like that, which is not good either, guys. You know, we want to be friendly with everybody. I'm a very friendly guy. You know, you can be respectful and peaceful towards people, of course, guys. That's how you go about life. You know, you're not going to go about life being this big arrogant asshole and fighting everyone and, oh, what do you know what I mean? Trying to insult people. That's not what I'm trying to do, ever. Okay, maybe some people are like that, not me. But at the same time, guys, you can't go to jail for words. You know, it's got to be actions more so than anything, right? Words don't really hold too much weight, guys. And if you listen to as much rap music and as much crazy stuff as I've listened to since I was 5 years old, words to me don't influence me, one, and words to me don't really hold much weight, guys. You know, to me, it's like this guy said something, and then, you can't really control what people say or what people do, honestly. You can control how you react to it and how you can, lay down a foundation so you're not mentally getting psyoped or, sort of like disabled by that sort of language, right? Because it's all a psyop, guys. When you're at work and they try and isolate you and they insult you and they do this stuff, or maybe they're even racist or whatever you guys think, man, whatever, maybe you're not from the place or whatever. A lot of that stuff is like basically people just trying to get to you mentally, guys. Don't let it affect you, man. Keep pushing, do your own thing, and try and work past it,
Mick, do you think that Roger O'Gorman will be able to get the government to try and pull that over the line, given there appears to be very little appetite on the Fine Gael side?
I don't really. I mean, anything about crime being out of control. Crime's been out of control since I've been in journalism, because largely elements of the media have it out of control. Usually the reality doesn't reflect it.
Oh, who is this Mick Clifford? So, although he doesn't speak like a very posh man, I'm pretty sure he lives in the D4 area of Dublin, or he's never seen a crime in his life. We're talking about areas of like the country that are rough, some parts of Limerick, lads, and I'm not saying the people are bad, but some people are bad, guys. You know what I mean? Some people actually do want to hurt you. There's some people, thugs in Dublin, that actually want to put violence on other people. So yeah, their crime is absolutely insane in parts of Dublin. Okay, and what I mean by out of control is absolutely it's out of control because, guys, damn near when you have 150 convictions. I saw one lad in Dublin. This guy had a rap sheet longer than flipping, I don't even know what. Like a flipping, he had more rap sheet than damn Eminem lyrics or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be stupid here, but you know what I mean, guys. The rap sheet was flipping. He had 150 flipping convictions. Man had like no sentencing. Never spent a day in prison. Like, what sort of nonsense? This is absolute insanity, guys. This is like, that's like, bro, it's like Arkham Asylum. You guys know, like in Batman, like it's like like Arkham Prison. There's nobody in the prison because everyone's just roaming the flipping streets of flipping Dublin. It's ludicrous behavior, guys. It's insane, is what I'm trying to say.
Usually the reality doesn't reflect it, and there are horrendous crimes that happen. And the thing about the violent crime, well, people talk about the hate speech bill, but the main element of that bill is the hate crime bill. And there's no doubt we've also seen minorities have been targeted in various ways with physical violence, and I think it's very...
Come on. There's already laws against that, guys. There's 9 sections. I learned that, bro, I actually learned that 9 sections back when I was in like primary school, 12 years old, maybe even in secondary school, whatever, like early days, man. And this guy's talking about we need more flipping laws against the people. Come on, lads, Jesus, it doesn't really matter if you stab somebody, guys, a flipping black guy, whatever, a Chinese guy, you should go to jail, guys, no matter what, you know what I mean? It's all a crime, you know what I mean? Whether it's racially motivated, that makes it worse, kind of like to the perpetrator, but it's like the guy still stabbed you. I'm not going to worry about the guy saying words. I'm going to worry about the guy with the knife or the flipping whatever bat, the flipping Hurley's trying to crack over my head, or the flipping gun or whatever. People are crazy, guys. So I'm going to worry about that stuff rather than the words. Let me tell you something, guys. Please insult me all days long. I don't want to get flipping stabbed and all this stuff. The words don't really affect me, guys, ever. Not at all. There's no word in the English dictionary that can affect me, or sentences. But at the same time, guys, actions can, guys. You can die if some guy flipping hits you over the head with something. You know what I mean? So, this is ludicrous.
Very important that needs to come in, that you have specific laws against that. But I don't think it will.
Do you think the one and the same then, that you could use the legislation that Ben has outlined there, that in a way that does have a role in dealing with crime on the ground? Because we had the example a few months ago of a man who seed to be beaten to death because he wasn't speaking English because he was Croatian.
Exactly.
But you're more concerned about the guy being dead than the flipping why are we talking about the reasons why people did stuff? Let's just sit back and have a philosophical sort of session. Aristotle, Plato, let's just think about why did this guy commit the crime, Why is this guy... You guys think that, what, people are reading too many of those, American, CIA, CSI movies and documents, and you guys are reading too much philosophy, you know what I mean? I'm the same way. I love all that stuff, deep, ideas. Oh, why would he do that? And, you have all these American guys, and then deep dive into the reasons and the psychology behind why this guy did that. It doesn't matter, guys. He still killed a guy. You gotta worry about that way more so, and sentencing, give very harsh sentences, 50 years, minimum in prison for murder, other than like let's think about the reasons why it motivated this. This is like ridiculous. This is ridiculousness, guys. Did South Park cause the flipping guy to shoot Trump yesterday? Did flipping rap music or did any of these movies, these violent movies and video games, did they motivate this guy to shoot up the school? Like nobody cares about that stuff, guys. We're wanting people to get sentenced harder. It doesn't matter about the psychology and philosophy behind crimes. This is stupid. This is like for college and for like 20-year-olds to debate in a college classroom, guys. This is not for actual in life and society, guys. This is ridiculous.
The same.
Exactly, and the fact that type of crime, that there's a specialised way of examining it on the basis that it's being motivated most likely by someone's status, whether it's their race, whether it's their sexuality, whatever.
But surely before we get to the motivation of why people are committing crimes, we should just start punishing crimes full stop.
Yeah,
I mean, our prison capacity is already massively oversaturated. There's like basic things here. There's not enough Gardaí. The fundamentals, before we start getting into granular, why did he do this, or was there a hate motivation? I mean, it seems like people all the things we're talking about are already crimes.
Have a look, Ben, at the Western world. And in that context, this is not by any means a violent society. Have a look in terms of crime stats elsewhere. This is not a crime-laden society.
I don't think that it is, guys. I think that Ireland's probably one of the safest places in the world. What we're saying is, and this guy doesn't understand because he's kind of he can't even speak fast, so he's not a really well-spoken guy, but that's every point aside. What we're talking about here is the actual breakdown and the sentencing and why people aren't going to prison and we need new prisons. It's a little bit deeper. This guy seems to think that he wants to know about the reasons behind the crimes, but he doesn't understand actually that the crimes itself aren't being dealt with. Okay, so it's unbelievable, man. This guy I don't even know who this guy is. Some correspondent. I mean, who cares, right? We have the biggest news the biggest news platforms in the country on the show and this type of stuff. So it's we're not dealing with that, guys. It's ridiculous.
I think there are, of course, places where things are more dangerous than here. We're not living in, some apocalyptic
Western European country.
But I think depending on where you go.
Well, I suppose there are more places dangerous than Dublin in Europe, but I'm pretty sure the US issued a report, and Canada as well, to people and tourists traveling to Dublin specifically, not Galway, not the West, guys, we're pretty safe here, to Dublin specifically, that there are really dangerous pockets there and you can actually die just as a tourist, as that Canadian guy died on Canada Day in July 1st, a few days ago. He got beaten up by 3 guys, and then there's loads of flipping crimes. So yeah, actually, dude, this correspondent guy, there actually has been issues from, we're talking about the US flipping Justice, Department of Justice probably, saying that, Dublin is very dangerous, don't go to these areas. So yeah, in relation to other areas of Europe, yes, actually there are some parts, not saying most, because Dublin is mostly safe. And so is Ireland overall, super safe country. But compared to other places, I'm sure, I've actually Googled it before, Dublin and Ireland is way more dangerous than places in Eastern Europe. Like Czechoslovakia, Slovakia, Slovenia, I'm sure Croatia, way more dangerous, guys, than those places. You guys can just Google it. So yeah, this guy's talking out his arse.
And where you live, people have a very different experience if they're living in certain parts of Dublin, let's say, for example.
There is no question about that. I'm talking about the overall context, and there's no question that there will always be individual crimes that people get extremely emotional about, totally understandably. That of itself does not mean that crime is out of control, or that we need to have some radical departure from how we deal with crime as such.
I actually think we should have some sort of radical departure. They should be massive sentencing, guys. If you put your hands on someone, break someone's jaw or whatever the case, they need to go to jail, guys. You know what I mean? I know here in Ireland, we'd mainly sue people and stuff. You knocked some guy's teeth out, shouldn't go to jail. But that's not kind of how it should be, guys. Your ass should be in flipping prison. You should be washed up. If you nearly kill a guy, your life should be washed up, guys. Straight up, guys. They mean well harsh on crime here, because if you're not harsh on crime, you actually punish the victims, guys, when you do that. There's a famous quote: if you don't punish the perpetrator, you punish the victim, guys. And that's how it should be. We actually should have a radical departure. police and everything, Gardaí are great here. In my personal opinion, I think they're great at catching. Well, sometimes we can debate that, but at the most part, the sentencing needs to be way harsher, guys, and maybe build like a new prison or something. There's things you can do, guys. I think that this guy here is a bit short-sighted. I don't know who this guy is. Like I said, complete nobody. But at the same time, guys, there needs to be some sort of reform. Absolutely, guys.
It has been like that for the last 50 years. Look.
So that's an appeal to time. That's a fallacy. If you want to talk philosophy, brother, we can appeal to different fallacies like time and. Oh, that's an appeal to time. People have been doing it for thousands of years, so we shouldn't change it. Well, that's actually not a good reason not to change it. So,
added every so often, you get this wave of crime is out of control. The media are going on about it. That's happened time and time again. There's nothing to indicate that things are any worse.
Okay.
There are specific issues, absolutely. But this notion that we're living in some Armageddon is off the charts.
Let's take the temperature of some of the... Roger Gorman.
What? That was a train wreck. Why would he think that it's an Armageddon? Why would he think that it's an Armageddon in the country? We're not saying that, guys. We're just saying pockets of it have been declared by the flipping US government. Oh, don't go here at certain times and don't do this because you can get killed and hurt for no reason. You know what I mean? Other than the fact that people want to, hurt you. So absolutely ludicrous. Let me know your thoughts, beautiful people. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next one, guys. Stay free.